how many times has human consciousness chosen to destroy the planet, whatever? A lot. Let's just stop at a lot. We don't need to know how many times. A lot. Okay. So, what if um, the ego was actually a tremendous gift to humanity because it allowed them to instantly manifest and experience within themselves so that they could live within the choice to destroy. Take a breath and breathe that in. So, what if the ego was actually a mechanism that allowed someone to look into the mirror and have what feels like a real experience of whatever level, whatever they're choosing, right? And in human consciousness's version, right, choosing destruction. You know, there's a reason why we only have access to so much here until we move into oneness, right? Because the ego is here to actually create a mirror where you, based on whatever destruction level of consciousness you're at, you're going to instantly experience that destruction. But so that you can face it faster, so that you can, what do they call it? You're going to have to lie in the bed that you made. Okay, right? So it gives a human consciousness the ability to then lie in the bed that they made. Okay, so just take that in. Now, how loving is that? How tremendously loving is God, is Source, to give a creator a gift that allows them to manifest and experience something that isn't real for them to grow. Pretty amazing, right? And not only is the ego like protecting the being by making them experience, right? By they put their energy into the mirror reflects back to them, and now they're in an experience that they believe is real. That's pretty amazing. Because imagine humanity choosing destruction and not having an ego to reflect back at it the depth of the consciousness and the experience that they're creating. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, right? Like when you really look at humanity and humans' consciousness, you go, man, they're the worst. Like nobody else destroys their own environment. Like who does that? Well, humanity like tends to have chosen quite a bit of destruction, right? So here, this ego that God intended is placed inside human consciousness, right? To reflect back to them how what they're choosing, the effect of what they're choosing within themselves. Like, thank God it's this beautiful training wheel. Does that make sense? Like, because you wouldn't want instant manifestation here, right? And so energy source exists at every level, right, in the universe. And so when the consciousness of someone is all the way down here, let's say in destruction, looking at the ego mirror, experiencing that destruction, okay, when somebody is that low, then the energy of creation that's put through here into the being, into the mirror, back to the being, holds the level of density required to not let them loose into the universe of infinite possibility and instant manifestation. Okay, it's really huge, right? Like, oh my gosh, what incredible training wheels, right? And as they raise, they get a little bit more creative power, but they, still have to experience like every thought that they go into separation. Now I'm experiencing separation. Now I'm trying to get over separation. Now I'm growing from it. Now I'm right. So the ego was this grow faster, right? What is that? Chia pet, chia, right? It's like pour water on it, right? Grow faster, humans. You are not growing fast enough. Do you think maybe that humanity has been given multiple chances with the ego that God intended to see if they would learn, but somehow they always chose some form of destruction? So God serves God. We know that from the third principle. Source is serving source in the highest. So the ego is serving each creator in the highest. Okay, isn't that cool? And it's keeping them from being able to access, right, the universe and create hell in other places, separation in other spaces and places and dimensions, right? There's a level of density where they can't get out of their own prison, and that's a good thing, right? Until they fully experience the pain that they are causing based on the choices that they are making. They fully experience their own pain, their own separation. Can they graduate to a greater level of working with God, source, the universe? Okay, so on every level, there's infinite consciousness of a being. Like they can access any level of consciousness, whatever dimension. Okay, guess what? So with human consciousness as well, there's every level of an ego to meet that consciousness, to then go, here's what that version looks like. And then the human creator goes, well, I'm just going to take this for myself. Here's what that level of consciousness looks and feels like. It's literally the creators, each being on earth. Like if you look at human consciousness, stay with Michael as we talk about this, as you're looking down. Oh, they're all just looking in the mirror. Right? And then God is so loving and so giving that this ego serves in every dimension and serves up the perfect experience, the perfect, right? And then it connects with other egos, and then they play out these different experiences in order to help them grow, in order to help them return home to source. Okay, so take a breath. So my next question for you today, which is a very powerful question, is how would God itself be in relationship to your ego? If God were embodied, how would God be with an ego?